Yo, so we're gonna talk about point of view right quick, all right? From your point of view, the last video we did on this guy right here, not very successful. No matter what we tried, we couldn't get it to run. But from my point of view, super successful because we got so much feedback from you guys. I now got a list of stuff to go through. We're gonna go through that list and we're gonna have this guy running by the end of this episode of Pugliese Speed Shop. I'll start off by telling you guys some of the feedback we got. First and foremost, the simplest thing, the battery's just not good. It's dying too quick. Maybe put a boost pack on it and see if that can get it done. Very possible. We're going to try that. Maybe all the mice that were in there have clogged up the exhaust and all that stuff, and it's just kind of getting back. Possible. Like the old potato in a tailpipe thing. Very possible. There's an electrical issue on the voltage regulator. So there's that clicking I thought was a solenoid. Could also be a voltage regulator. The voltage regulator in this car is inside the alternator. That's a possibility. Maybe we're not getting enough power to the coil. Maybe it's just, because that's a thing. Run a hot wire from the battery to the coil. You're getting 12 volts. Maybe it'll fire. Possible. I've been thinking about it, and things I've seen in the past, maybe one of the accessories is starting to lock up, the alternator, the power steering pump, the water pump, maybe the bearings are going or something like that, and they're not allowing the motor to spin fast enough. That's possible. Then I think back to when I had the breaker bar on it, I could move the whole motor. So who knows? Then could be for me moving that stuff, maybe one of those bearings that sat idle for 23 years immediately broke. That's all possible possibilities. No, all probable possibilities. That's the right way to say that. So there's a couple others, just ones on the top of my head. I'm gonna actually make a list, guys, and we're gonna try them one by one, and we'll see what gives. It could be a combination of all of them, so that's why I don't want to do them all at once, because then we'll never know. But we're going to start with the easiest one. My buddy Ben hooked me up and let me borrow his boost pack, one of those Norco ones he carries on his motorcycle. Guys, which actually helped us out quite a bit. We were out riding. Chad left his key on, killed his battery. I was sitting there right next to him. So thanks to Ben, we were able to fire that thing up and get out of there. So he bailed us out once. Let's see if he can do it again. All right, guys, number one, we got the jump pack right here. This is the Norco GBX 45, and it is fully charged. So we're gonna hook it up, give it a shot. I just checked the voltage on the battery. I still have the one out of the Le Mans in here, and it's showing 11.9. So it is a little bit low. But it should not matter with this guy connected. By the way, I want 30 seconds with the guy that ran this air conditioning line here from the factory because he sucks. All right. We're connected. Everything's legit. It's showing it's throwing power at it. Let's see what happens, guys. Oh, I should have probably put a little bit of this in here. Let's do that. She's thinking over there. She's good. Go. Probably a little too much, but it's gonna be fine, guys. It's gonna be just fine. Hold that for me. We're making noise and stuff. It's gotta be good. That click is a hell of a lot faster.
1,
Good thinking, Ben, but it wasn't the problem. We got something wrong in that region over there. All right, I don't know how well you guys could hear that. Before, I was using these microphones that are a lot better. All right, guys, I'll admit it. And huge shout out to the kid for getting them for me. Appreciate it, dude. But before I had the camera, everything would be outside. So you would hear the noises of the engine more. And now that I'm saying this out loud, why don't I take the other microphone and put it by the engine so you can hear the noises? That's what we're gonna do this time. So it's that clicking is very loud down low. I'm thinking that there's a connection issue. And the more I keep thinking about it, when I put the starter in, I checked all the connections, they look good. The connections look fine up here. That doesn't mean that that cable's bad. So going back to our list right here, we're moving right along. And the next thing is the hot wire. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna run a wire from the positive side of the battery to the pink side on the distributor here. The coil is on the distributor on these cars, not like the older ones where it's outside. HEI, so we'll do that. So it'll be like right in this region here. Yeah, from the battery over there. And if you're wondering why I still have the car lifted this high, because I foresee me changing that battery cable and I don't feel like jacking the car back up. So we're gonna do it like this and see how it goes. Hey guys, we did a couple of things, nothing crazy. This is where I put the other microphone so you guys can hear what's going on with the engine. We put the proper battery back in. We're keeping the booster on it. I've actually already cranked it without the booster on it. It cranks faster. So, I don't know, maybe the other one was dying, maybe it was a bad connection. Pretty sure it was more bad connection than anything. Honestly though, the GM guy that designed this area here, ooh, man, yeah, it's a little aggravating. There's so much room under this hood, guys, so much room. There's no reason for that. But here we have, let me just keep walking back and forth for no reason. On the HEI right there, where it says BAT, I got it wired going in there and kind of brought it around so it doesn't touch the fan. And here it is. We will connect that to this side of the battery and give this a shot. All right, guys, we're gonna put a little bit of True Fuel down the carb because I kind of forgot that before. Yeah, should be enough to get it popped off if it needs to. Of course it needs to. That made no sense. All right, we'll turn the battery pack on. Is she working there? Yep, she's working. Let's see what happens. Come on, baby. Clicking like crazy. Same thing. Faster, but still no cigar. So that cranked a little bit longer, a little bit faster, a little bit better. We had the correct battery in there and connected properly. I don't know if that was a problem before or not. And then we had to jump pack on it, so it went longer, but it started slowing down. You saw we were getting spark. That's why I purposely put that right like this, so you can see the light flash right there. I think it only flashed once, but it wasn't turning real fast, so that's how that works. We connected it back up because that didn't change anything. So we're back to the coil being hooked up the way it's supposed to, and we disconnected the voltage regulator by our list right here. That's the next thing. So I'll flip you around because you're not going to see with me doing it this way. But guys, here you go right here. That's connected back up the way it's supposed to be. Voltage regulator is inside the alternator, so we got disconnected, disconnected, and disconnected. So hopefully that clicking noise will stop. Only one way to find out. I'm gonna throw a little bit more True Fuel because it probably evaporated away. I do not have the jump pack hooked up because it was starting to go down on life a little bit there. So we got that back on the charger, or back charging itself. And well, let's see if that clicking noise goes away, guys. What do you think? Place your bets. Nope. No change. I promise you that clicking noise has got to be related as to why this thing's not starting, but well, on to the next. All right, guys, the next thing on our list that we've been following so far is the accessories may be hanging up. So I'm looking at the smog pump here, and it's just spinning. There's no belt on it at all. Yeah, it's all lined up, but nobody cares about that. We'll probably remove that because we can use the room. I don't understand. It's only, what, 3.8? And they put 350s in like the, well, no, they don't. They put 305s. It's the same size block, guys. And like the Monte Carlo SS and everything. There's so much more room that could be utilized here. We got it all crammed here, and it's kind of making me a little bit, a little edgy, but we're going to be all right. So we're going to spin this motor. And yeah, I do have a breaker bar on it because I can't reach down there otherwise, but guys, it's spinning pretty freely. Everything is spinning. Oh, what's that right there? Huh. Could we be on something here? God damn. Huh. That's a little tight. But now it's free again. All right, I'm thinking that's internal. Huh. Guess the only way to find out, we'll pull these belts off and we'll give her a shot then, because yeah, that was tight right there, guys. That's, oh, don't fall off. There we go. Now it's loose. It's loose again now. Yeah. All right, we're gonna pull the belts off and we'll see if that goes away, because that was tight. Now there's probably some ring ridge in here because this thing was locked up for a little while. So we may need to pull the plugs and wash her out with some mystery oil or something like that. But let's pull out the belts first and see if that loosens everything up. That was my idea. Sweet. Well, guys, took a little break. We got a little grub with Megan, and we got back after it down here. Pulled the belts off. At one point, I had to stop asking that guy right there because, and not just the AC, like ducting over there or piping, but the dude that engineered the whole system, I want to fight him because there's so much room. Nothing makes sense. Nothing. It's just. It's like the whole thing was an afterthought, but it wasn't. So I'll spin you around and show you what we're working with and see if there's any difference. All right, we haven't tried spinning the motor yet, but this belt was already off and it's clearly free. Here we got the power steering pump. She's spinning pretty good. I'll put a light on this subject so you guys can see. Huh? How does that work? Better? Yeah. No hang up. Then we got the water pump. No hang up there. We got the alternator. No hang up there. The AC is gonna be a little different, but I'll bring it over there. I'm gonna bring my step stool with me. Because of the clutch thing and all that stuff, but yeah, well, actually, no, it spins pretty freely. So I don't think that was the problem, but we got some more ideas. We'll spin it anyway, see if that did anything, but I doubt it. All right. Let's see what we got here, guys. Right, holy shit. Right there it gets really tough. And then it loosens right up. Loose, see? See, it gets real loose where I'm trying not to damage this fender here. And right about here, so yeah, it's 360 around. It starts to get really tough again. So it's the same spot every time, which is probably, yeah, okay. So I'm thinking that is where everything was sitting for 23 years. That's to be expected. That'll wear down when we get this thing running. Notice I said when. We will try. Let's try again. Why not? We're not doing nothing else right now. Let's give her a shot. Let me take this stuff off the rotating assembly because that could cause a problem. All right. We will give it a shot and see how this goes. Maybe we can pinpoint. I think I know where this noise is coming from. Maybe we can pinpoint that too. Don't know till you try, guys. And we don't know, even though we keep trying. Here we go. Click, click, click. Yep. Same old, same old. Well, that was pretty uneventful. And I apologize for that. I was hoping that would be it because then we just changed one of the accessories and boom, fire up. We'd be cruising a boulevard in no time. But that didn't happen. So on to the next. And looking at our list right here, the next thing's really hard to prove. I got an idea that can, it may work. Well, it may prove whether this is the problem or not. And it's the only idea I can come up with without being very, very intrusive. So let's see if it works. Dude, that actually worked. Not the first time. I'll be 100% honest. At first, I just took the little microphone. I got it right here. I put one by each pipe and yeah, nothing. I was hoping I'd hear maybe. It didn't work. And then I was like, wait a minute. There's magnets on them. What if I take that, hang a little piece of paper towel? It worked. So we see that just with the motor cranking, it's popping both exhaust pipes. So I don't think they're clogged. We went and took that off of the list, and we're now at bad battery cables. And it's getting a little late, guys. Like real late. AM. I went down a rabbit hole for a while after that, trying to figure out what that clicking noise is, and I might have actually figured it out. There's a solenoid in that carburetor because there's all sorts of wires that go in there and actually a little tiny computer from what I'm reading. And it's sensing that, what's it, not fuel pressure or volume or something in there, which makes sense because I don't have any fuel going to it because God knows what's in that tank. That's why we got the one in the box right there. And nobody knows what's in those lines. We're going to replace them. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to ignore the clicking noise. It didn't do it when we tried starting with the old carburetor. So that stuff was all gummed up. That carb was trash. So I'm thinking, now that we got the new one on there, it's kind of like, you can kind of see it. You've seen it many times. Anyways, now that that's on there, I'm thinking everything's starting to work, sensors and all that kind of stuff, or it has been working since we started this clicking noise. And I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to jump into changing the battery cables. Somebody mentioned in the comments, I think it was Oli. Big shout out to everybody. Ben, Jimbo, Randy over at Evaluate and Repair, Oli's Garage. I think Tim Windsor had something to say on there too. Appreciate it, guys, because we're all learning. This is awesome. From when I first heard the cable thing, I kind of thought that'd be it, because when I did clean out the contacts, everything looked good, but there was some corrosion. You can see that green corrosion going into the wire strand. Maybe it went all the way up in there, and that's what's causing this. I will find out after. I'm going to go hose off, catch a little shut-eye, get down here in the morning, well, a little later in the morning, I guess, and get some cables, go from there. Guess I'll let you know. I can't even say tomorrow, because later on today, that's what we're shooting for. We'll see you guys then. All right, guys, next day, and we're back down the shop. Now, it's the next day, depending on where you started from. And what I mean by that is, it's not the next day. We were filming a couple videos at once. We got that taken care of last night, and then we decided to get back down here today, get back to work on this guy. After we made a run to the auto parts store, I'll show you guys, we've taken a lot of stuff apart because the engineer for the 3.8, so much room and still so cramped. It's very frustrating. And I'll show you guys why. Show you what the old cables look like. Well, you know what? I'll just shut up and I'll actually show you. Let's do that. So for starters, guys, this one right here, he's been our friend. And we put that one belt back on. This way we could, you know, take the fan off and use this as tension to hold it all together. Well, if you guys remember, we spent a lot of time, I mean a ton of time, cleaning all this out. And if you look, let's see if I can get you down in there. Yeah, there's still mouse house stuff in there. So much grease buildup, guys. It's pretty bad. But that's besides the point. Let's just forget about that. And think about what we got to work on. I'm not worried about the grease. We're going to pressure wash everything once we get it running. So the ground goes down and bolts right in the front there. And of course the hot goes down to the starter. Let me show you what they look like. There's the two new universal-ish ones. This guy, I don't know if this is a big deal here. It doesn't turn at all. There's a lot of corrosion there. Who knows what's inside? Corroded, covered in grease. I don't know. Could be a background. Now this is what I was talking about. Mind you, this is after I scrubbed that out. Yeah, I think we might have found a problem. I hope we, God, that is bad. Now I'm looking at it. And that's after I scrubbed it all out. You can see how clean that is. I actually did a little work on it. I'm thinking that might be all the way through the strands, all the way up here. I don't really care to cut it apart and find out when we got these two right here. So we'll get these guys installed now that we got plenty of room. And yeah, my favorite tool's out. She's making me work for it, guys, I'll tell you that. Can you believe I just cleaned this guy off? You know what? It doesn't even matter. We got battery in. See those new cables and guys, we went traditional red and black, you know. We'll ride them a little nicer because we're hoping this works. And then we'll get into cleaning this thing up. But I have fought the urge to fire it up or attempt to without you guys with me. So I'm gonna put you on the tripod. Yo, we're about to hope for the best. Say it, say Chip, Hail Mary, full of grace. You know the rest. In case it's actually gonna, like, you know, light off, let's put a little bit of go-go juice down there. And if it cranks right, that's all we're hoping for, guys. If it cranks right, we are good to go. We know that's what's up. That's quite a bit of fuel. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, guys. Fast crank, please. Fast crank, please. Fast crank, please. Well, that was a bunch of work for nothing. I had no idea what's wrong with this thing. Guys, I'm trying not to sound like disappointed or defeated, frustrated, but it's getting a little tough, right? I feel this thing should be good or we have a bigger problem. Since it's not good, I don't want to say that yet because if you look at our list right here, there's one more thing it could be, a short or a bad connection. If that's not it, guys, we're leaning towards like an internal mechanical resistance that's not allowing this thing to spin as fast as it needs to. I went back and watched the video. I want to play this for you right here. So then if you, how we were just cranking, it's getting worse. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards there's something mechanical going wrong in there that's causing something. And if that's the case, man, we've let a couple of good possibilities go as far as a replacement there. But we're gonna do what they call a voltage drop test. But it's a little bit after 11 o'clock at night. I'm here by myself, and you need two people. That being said, video's getting a little long, guys. So we're about to call it, but before we do, I want to show you something. Why I'm so frustrated with, not the car, I love G-Body, guys, and the fact that it's Chippy's car, and I remember it as a kid and all that. That's awesome. That has not changed. It will never change. But I'm getting a little bit of hate on some of these GM engineers. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to step on my little platform here. And if I was messing with my OBS, my Le Mans, the Bel Air, guys, I think even my Tundra, I could just pop off a valve cover and you know, see what's going on inside. You kind of see the valve cover there. That's the little rusty part with the PCV valve coming out of it. And then this guy right here with this oil fill coming out of it. And everything in the way. And everything everywhere. Even with the whole front dress kind of, you know, is accessible now because I pulled all that out of there. What were you guys thinking? You see my frustration? And it's not huge, guys. I could pull some stuff out of the way. Like that smog pump that wasn't even hooked up in the first place, a couple other things. So it's not a huge deal. It just didn't need to be this hard. The 80s had some of the coolest cars out there. But the engineering Maron, I'll tell you. So we're gonna call it for right now, guys. Like I said, I don't want to get frustrated. This is a trip down memory lane and doing a favor for a friend. So you don't want to keep working on it until you don't want to work on it anymore. That happens. And it's unfortunate. So we're gonna see the signs, and we're gonna take a step away. We're gonna move it back. I got some work to do on the OBS, and a couple of little things we got to take care of. And during that time, we will brainstorm. We'll continue to do some, some research. I'm thinking when I get a helping hand, we'll try that voltage drop test. Maybe we'll pull all the plugs, do a compression test, which will also be a little challenging. Tuck it under the hood. But guys, that's not a big deal. You know why? Because you know what they say, right? If you want to have the coolest thing in the parking lot, you better be ready to put in some work. And sometimes that work is going through everything you could possibly think of just to learn more stuff. Let's watch it, guys.